How much money do you need to start a mobile welding business, realistically? If you're on a budget and you don't have much to work with, this is what I did, and this is how I started my mobile welding business on as little money as possible. Now, you don't want to cheap out and you don't want to buy crappy equipment, but you can find a decent welder generator online, maybe on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, something like that. So this is a Miller Bobcat 225G. It's on a trailer, which is pretty nice. It doesn't come with leads, but it looks pretty decent, and it looks like it does TIG as well. So yeah, it's on a trailer already, so if you got a smaller vehicle and you don't have like a 3/4 ton or a 1-ton truck, you just need to tow it. It probably weighs about 500 pounds, so you can tow it with like an SUV. So yeah, $2,500. You could probably negotiate that down. It's been online for a month, but it's been reposted for about 3 months now, so you could probably negotiate them down to $2,000. If you want to buy new, I would recommend this machine for starting out. It can do TIG, stick, and wire. It's a little over $3,000, so that's a little more expensive. But if you really don't want to buy used equipment and you want to buy new, I'd recommend this one for sure. And then you can get the protection plan, which I normally don't do, but it's up to you. And then yeah, you can run all your tools off here. It's AC/DC welding, and then you'll probably need about some leads. I recommend about 50 to 100 feet of ground and stinger, which runs you about $150 each. So let's see where we're at right now. Let's just say you go for the most expensive welder. So $3,500 with tax plus $350 for the leads would put you at $3,850. Then you got to get business insurance. So this is just an example that I did. So company info, economy, you don't really need to have it within 5 business days. You can get it within 30 business days, or 30 days, I guess, and that's a lot cheaper. It's about $300 cheaper. And then the operating agreement, so you can have taxes, and this is just for LLC. You can always have a different structure to your business. I always do the LegalZoom registered agent, because you need a registered agent, and they're pretty decent actually. And then if you want to, you can hire an accountant separately, and you don't really need this stuff. So sales tax, nothing. You can digital download it. You can do 3 monthly payments of $124 or 1 payment of $368. So $368 plus $3,850. So $4,218. I'm just going on the more expensive end. Then you got to get business insurance. So this is general liability insurance from Next Insurance. It's a pretty good company. I use them. It's about $65, $67 a month, or if you want to pay by the year, it's $788, and it includes $1 million per incident, $2 million per year, $0 deductible, $25 per incident. This is professional liability, $50K per year, no deductible. And yeah, so what's covered? Property damage. So if you're welding and grinding dust or grinder sparks or damages a piece of client's property. Medical payments, a client trips over some equipment, breaks a bone. Advertising harm, you post a picture of the client's house and they sue you. Personal injury, trash talk a competitor and they sue you for personal injury. And what's not covered? Work on senior housing, military housing, airports, shopping centers, and student housing. So if you add that plus 7, 4,986 so far, and like I said, I'm going on the more expensive end. And for me personally, I bought quite a bit of tools, and so consumables, I'm just putting what I personally spent. I spent about $350 on between welding rod, 6010, 7018, grinder discs, cutoff wheels, flap discs, and wire wheels. So that puts you at 336. Then you gotta think about safety gear, PPE, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cheap. I'd just say about 200. And then you gotta think about, the grinders themselves. And if you want to cheap out or you want to go, good quality, I'd recommend going good quality. So you should get at least 2 grinders, and they can run anywhere from $120 each to $50 each. So let's just go on the most expensive end. So let's just say $240 for 2 grinders, 5776, and then I guess any miscellaneous stuff. So I do some piping work, so I got some wrenches and some pipe wrenches. 5776. Let's just say 300. So let's just say about $6,000 total, just bare minimum to get started, and that includes the LLC, the insurance, the welder generator. Yeah, if you buy used, obviously it's going to be cheaper, but it won't last you as long. And yeah, so that includes pretty much everything you're going to need to get started. But I recommend having at least, if you're going to go full-time in your business, which I don't recommend doing right at the beginning. I hold a job right now, a full-time job, and then I do this on the side. I would recommend having at least $15,000 in emergency cash for just, getting you through the slow periods. And it's going to be rough the first, I guess, 2 to 3 years building a good clientele, and you got to think about, you just got to build a good name for yourself. It's going to take a while to get the business off the ground. And I guess you could add business cards in there. You can get like 500 for like $50, and then you can get posters, flyers, all that kind of stuff. So I'd just say bare minimum, you should have about $6,500 to start with tools, equipment, everything, and so on. But I'd recommend having no less probably than $20,000 in the bank if you are going to go full-time. That's just my recommendation. You can do whatever you want, but that's what I would do. That's what I've done. But since I have a full-time job, I have a little more leeway. Just starting to build up a good client base and a good customer base, and that's been working out pretty well, making a name for myself. And I'd recommend creating a Google page, a Google listing. You can do Google My Business. Then you can have an address, and you can have reviews and stuff. You can also do Yelp, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And the best way to advertise, in my opinion, is word of mouth. I feel like that's the best way to advertise. And hand out your business cards, give them always a couple. Just do good work and you'll be fine. With that, I'm out.